All right. Well, I just clicked um record too early. I was not ready to record. Um I didn't really check yet to see the episodes that people seem to be into. I don't know if I'm going to actually check cuz part of me is like I'm enjoying just recording how I've been recording lately. Um I don't really want to change it. I don't really want to think about changing it right now. So I think one thing I would want to change though is recording more. I'm not recording as much as I'd like to be recording, but I'm also like not completely avoiding it. Um, I keep it mostly logged into I keep my laptop logged in, so when I want to record or when I want to upload, it's already logged in. But I have been recording less. It's definitely harder to record knowing that I need to upload. And just that extra step of needing to have my laptop involved just really slows me down. But I've been enjoying kind of staying offline more. I'm not really, to be clear, I'm not like fully offline. It's like I turn my phone off. The phone that I usually use, I turn my phone off. But if I need my computer or something, or if I really need to, like, if I want to listen to something, and, you know, I have another, like, spare phone that, like, only has YouTube, so, like, I'm not completely detached. I just kind of recognized that yesterday. I was like, maybe I shouldn't even have those options, you know? Like, I'm not really using them. Last night I did use watching a video, but it was a specific type of video. And so I'm trying to limit myself to, you know, the content that I'm kind of learning, all the stuff I've been talking to you guys about. I'm trying to limit myself to that and, like, studying that more and doing less of just watching YouTube for the most part. Like, trying to be a little more productive, and trying to kind of adjust my lifestyle more to kind of how I want it to look. But I'm also learning a lot, and it's I can't tell if it's a new style of spending my night. I'm liking it, but I'm hoping it's not draining me for work. I feel like it's kind of getting me pumped up, but also some of the stuff I'm learning is like, wow, like, I'm trying to work and I'm thinking about this stuff all day. But it was interesting last night, the stuff I found myself thinking about going to sleep. You know, I was thinking about, you know, righteous people, like the difference between, like, what's someone like when they're righteous, or how does somebody think something into existence. You know, I wasn't thinking about, like, anything, you know, current necessarily, like, you know, no current events anyways. My mind wasn't on work, it wasn't on, you know, much. And the dreams I had last night were pretty fun. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my throat lately, and it feels a little scratchy when I'm talking. And I have had a little, not a cough necessarily, but I sometimes cough more easily. Like, my throat gets dry lately. Maybe I'm talking too much. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm talking too much, but I mean, I am talking at work. But I don't feel like I'm losing my voice talking at work. But I don't know. I do feel like I'm kind of losing my voice a little bit, which is, I don't know. It's not like I don't talk. I'm talking on here, so if I need to stop talking, I'm not doing it. But yeah, like, it was just an interesting way to spend the night, and a couple nights, you know, just kind of doing something different. Now, it is a little bit too low stimulation for me. Maybe that's good, because it seems to have a benefit, but also it feels so, I don't know, it feels so, like, disconnected already. Like, for example, if I know I'm gonna like talk to certain people that I know, like certain friends or something, usually I have a lot of things that I'm like, oh, I want to talk about this or about that, and I'm like, it's not that I don't want to talk to my friends about what I'm doing. Obviously, I'm like recording it on the internet, but it's just weird. Like, I'm not sure if I really want to just talk about this. Like, but I'm like, I don't have anything else that I'm really thinking about too much. I'm just thinking about this stuff. So, I don't really know. I guess there's not too much that I can really like do with that, but yeah, it's just kind of weird, I guess. Like, I don't really know. But yeah, the things I've been learning are basically from the Tanya. Do I understand it fully? No. I've gone back and forth on a lot of it. I'm on about page 10, which is like 5 pages in or so. I think like chapter 2 or starting chapter 2. I don't even know if I'm on chapter 2 or 3, but it's deep and it's a lot. Like, I don't really know how to describe it too easily. Like, but I'm enjoying reading it. It's just, I'm not used to reading things that aren't like a linear storyline or a linear thought. Like, this is linear, I guess, but it doesn't loop back to like a conclusion. It's like, it's just going forward. And it's like, but what about the other 5 topics we just passed, and bringing up topics and potential answers to questions, and then it's another topic and another topic, and it's just very thought-provoking that I feel like I could probably read like 2 or 3 sentences and just sit with that for a while. It's almost like, it's not so much like when you read the book of Proverbs, but it's almost, I don't know, that's the closest thing I know that I could compare it to, where it's like thought after thought after thought. Like, some of it, like the parts that are actually like the advice, the sections that say like the different types of advice. I think sometimes it's easier to, compare it that way, but I don't really know. I really just don't know what, like, I don't know. It's been a good week. It's not a perfect week, but it's not a perfect week, but it's good. It's just had some ups and downs, but not low downs or nothing that can't be repaired. It just, I had an energy dip today, and it was weird because yesterday was like one of the highest energy days I'd ever had, and then today I got hit with some anxiety on top of probably just, I tried to change what I was eating a little bit, not that much. I ate 2 eggs and some fruit, and sometimes I was gonna try to have just fruit, but I was like, let me have some eggs too. And it was a pretty light breakfast. And I have had days where having a light breakfast does make me feel like I have more energy. And so I thought that would be a good breakfast, but for some reason I just didn't have too much of an appetite. And then I got notified of a meeting that the supervisor wanted to have with me all of a sudden, and I started worrying about that. Like, what is it about? And he didn't show up to the meeting, so I didn't know why. But then I kind of took lunch. I mean, I did say, like, I'm ready when you are, kind of thing. Like, I always say that. Like, if someone's not there, like, after, like, 7 minutes or so, I'm usually, like, ready when you are. Just to make sure if they really don't know, then they'll hopefully see that message. Or if something else is going on, they know that I'm kind of there. But just to, like, acknowledge it, but yeah, no one showed up. So I was like, okay. And I didn't get a response to that message. So I didn't know what to think about it. So I was a little behind because I was expecting to be in that meeting at any moment. And then I was like, well, let me just take lunch because I was a little stressed and hadn't eaten that much. And I was like, well, by that time it's noon. So it's an appropriate time to take lunch. And I wanted lunch by then. So I was like, let me take lunch. I can't tell if my energy is like decreasing. And then it kind of decreased a little bit or a lot bit. I think it was kind of a lot. It did actually end up decreasing. And then around like 1:45, I started realizing like, I was kind of, my energy kind of got even lower from around that point to the point where I was just like, man, I'm just really gonna have to pace myself. So I kind of just made the calls and did what I needed to do, but I was slower on making the calls. I did what I needed to do for today, but I would have liked to do more. And so I'm feeling like the combination of today and yesterday kind of evened themselves out. Because yesterday I did way more than usual, and today I did kind of less than my average. And so I guess that's fine. Um, but I don't want to play with my energy too much to the point where I don't really get things done or that I get behind or something. So I mean, things are going fine too. We eventually did get to have that meeting. Um, but yeah, it turned out it really was nothing. They're just kind of reminding me of something. And then um yeah, but I don't know. I guess I was worried. I'm not sure how much I was worried. I feel like I wasn't that worried, but maybe I was more worried than I thought. Or maybe it was the combination of kind of like switching up what I ate in the morning. I felt like I slept fine. The night before, I woke up like 3 times. But last night, I don't think I even woke up once in the middle of the night. I woke up pretty early, but then I was able to actually go back to sleep this morning, and I didn't really get up till like 7:15 or so. Like, usually I'm kind of like up, but I put something on to listen to and just decided to kind of go back to bed. I was like, I don't want to wake up early. But maybe waking up later, did something to my energy too. Because usually, I feel like the caffeine didn't kick in at its peak, like where it didn't like peak. Like it kind of got to a point where I was pretty functional, but then my energy tanked like before 2 p.m. Like I feel like if it was like 3:30 or 4, that would be different. But it was like it wasn't even 2 yet when I started struggling. So, um, but I mean, I don't know. Like there are days like that. It wasn't the worst it could have been. It could have been worse. And I'm being told that everything's on track, and so like I actively heard that today. So I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I need to kind of maybe get over that. I don't do things perfectly, but I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, as in I want to do them better because I already know that like some things I do have weaknesses in, but I do have strengths in other areas. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping that I can trust that people are actually tracking what I'm doing as they say they are, and are rightfully telling me like accurately that I'm on pace with things, because I feel like I'm a little behind where I want to be, but they feel like I'm on track. So, um, I don't really know what to say to that. And we've got some more stuff we have to add, so I'm kind of worried about how that's gonna affect the workflow. Um, I'm gonna try and you know just do what I know I need to do. I mean, the end of the month is coming up. Got August coming. August is my party month. Got some raves coming, some good concerts coming up. Um, Lots of plans with friends, kind of bigger plans. August and maybe the end of September. I usually have bigger plans, maybe July too. I don't do too much like end of the year unless it's snowboarding, and I hate to say it with the expense. I don't know if I'm going to do it this year. I want to go out, but if I do, it's not going to be able to be like it's not going to be able to be how I was wanting to like go all out like I did the last couple of years when I went. I didn't get to go last season, but the 2 seasons before that during COVID, when things were actually open and I was working fully remotely and I could go up on weekdays and stay in a hotel like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you know, like because I could work still and not take work off and then go night boarding. Like that was a better setup for me, you know, but I had money to blow to do it too, so and that's what I wanted to do. Um, but yeah, like um, I don't know. Like I gotta figure that out. Maybe I'll be able to do like a week trip or something, or like a trip like yeah, every week or something. Do like a week long trip, or not every week. Jeez, what am I saying? But like every year, do like a week long trip or something. Because then at least it's like I get in a lot of time all at once instead of trying to spread it out and just taking one trip. I mean, I don't think I could take a week off, but I do work remotely, so. But I get off at 5 instead of 4. But night boarding is usually till 10 p.m. So if I stayed where I could get to the slopes easily and then get back and still work the next morning. Because even going up for like an hour and a half, if I'm there for like a freaking week or even like four days, like if I'm there for a long time, like, you know, I don't mind just doing like an hour here, an hour there, you know, having like some longer sessions and then a couple short ones. That doesn't bother me. Um, I would love to go for a week. I don't know. That's a lot of time. I don't think I've gone more than 4 days. And when I have gone 4 days, I basically drove in one day, didn't go up that day, you know, because it was like evening or night, and then had 2 days to spend, and then either did or didn't go the day before, the day that I was actually on my way out. So I got like 2 to 3 days in. Um, and I don't know, like I've gone when I've been out of shape. The last few times I've been, it's been a very interesting challenge. But since I went to Taos, New Mexico, which was such a beautiful experience, beautiful memory, um, since going to Taos, I basically, um, yeah, I think that was my best season, was during the pandemic. Somehow I was getting enough exercise to be able to make that work. And I mean, I was sore, but I wasn't like half dying. Like the other times I went, I actually got injured, not falling injured, but pulled a muscle really badly injured. Um, and that muscle pull lasted a long time, but it wasn't in my back. It was like rhomboid, kind of shoulder. It was from my back, I think, to my shoulder or something. It was a really weird injury because I thought it was stress related. But it didn't last as long as this. It lasted maybe like a week of pain. And I've had another back injury that I think it was from foam rolling like on my neck. It was kind of like right up by my shoulders. And these have all been like within the last like 8 years, 9 years or so. But none of them were the same area, and the other two healed way faster than what I've got going on now. But yeah, like I don't know. Like I'm just trying to kind of adjust to this job still, I guess. Um, I'm trying to keep it simple because really it's not that difficult, but it is a lot of work and it is pretty fast paced. And I do need the energy to be able to like keep up. I can't have too many off days. But I've got to recognize, you know, if I do go harder one day and just kind of can't really go the same strength or even at my average the next day, I don't think it's the end of the world. But if I have like 2, 3, 4, 5 days like consecutively where I'm like low energy, can't really focus, can't get things done, I don't think I can afford to have like low focus days, like too many of them. because the work doesn't really stop. Like, and so far I've been able to catch up. Like, okay, catch up here now. I gotta handle this, and then catch up there, and then I gotta handle this other thing. But I'm not fully caught up, but I'm not so far behind that it's like impossible. Um, but there are things I didn't consider. Holidays. I didn't consider the holidays. We had 2 days off during July for July 4th. We had off the 4th and the 5th. I didn't realize how that would impact things. I got a list of clients that needed to all of a sudden follow up with their doctors, and it was like a really long list of like 30 something people or 20 something people. So that was an extra task to do over the span of in portions over 2 or 3 days. I had to get some recorded calls. Those are extra tasks that I wasn't doing before, and I had to get some. There's something else I had to do, but yeah, just like different kind of deadlines, just kind of coming at me. Um, and then yeah, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. When I had to go into the office, I didn't realize how long of my day that would take. I had to be there at 11. I left around 9:30 or 9:45 a.m. and we started at 8:30, so I only got less than an hour of work done because by the time you log in and then I have to get ready to leave and stuff too. Like I had to like pack up my stuff. I wasn't going to do that like before 8:30. I had to get ready to leave and stuff and put on my clothes and all that, and then drove, and you know so I got there on time, and then like maybe 10 minutes early, which was fine. And then um I could have been late, but I was on time. And I um yeah, like I successfully got to the meeting and back, but by the time I got back it was probably like, I don't know, 1:30 or something. So from 9:45 to like 1:30, then I still am expected to have lunch and two 15-minute breaks, before my day ends. So it's like really another hour off of that. So technically I'm not really working till like 3:30 or so, um until 5. So it's really not a long day at all. When you take all the breaks, it's like 8:30 to 9:45, and then 9:45, or sorry, then like 3:30 to 5 pretty much, if I just took all the breaks and stuff. But yeah, that's like a half a day. And so basically having like 2.5 days short. I'm not 2.5 days behind, but on some tasks I'm kind of behind. I don't know. I'd have to see if it's like 2.5 days. I feel like I'm about like almost like a day behind. Like all the stuff I have that I need to get done is like I need like a day to do it. But I'm trying to portion it all out. Um, but yeah, it's draining a lot of my energy trying to like strategize, kind of like adding more and more. But I'm like, I'll get accustomed to it. Right now, work wise, it's what I have going for me. So I'd rather try to do good at this job and see if opportunities come from it versus try to look for another job. Like, because this job might have some extra opportunities that are going in directions that I'm trying to get to, anyways. Maybe not exactly what I had expected, but it would get me there. So, I don't know. I'd probably be working in a different city. Like, I wouldn't move to San Diego if I stayed at this site. But I also don't mind living in LA. And yeah, San Diego's kind of changing for me too. It's getting harder to meet up with some people. One of my friends pointed out, yeah, it's been like 2 years since I moved now. Like June made it 2 years. I don't think I recognized that because I did move before I stopped working at that site in San Diego, because we were remote. So I moved and I was working from LA. And then when I needed to go in, I would go in, which was like maybe once to twice a month, if that. Um, and so, um, well, not once or twice a month. It would have been like once every 3 months, or at most like once a month, in addition to once every 3 months, because we had to go in quarterly to pick up a bonus check, and they handed it to us in person, and so I had to figure out a way to get there on a Monday, meaning I'd have to work from there or take PTO and then pick up the check on Monday. But yeah, like I've with this injury, I've been in San Diego less and less, and with the work situation and the studying situation, I've been in San Diego less and less. And time in a way has kind of moved on. I don't know if I want the same things. Um, I mean, the main reason why I wanted to move back to San Diego is for the people that I knew there. Um, I mean, San Diego's great. I mean, it has a lot of similarities to LA. It's close to LA, so I can get to LA easily when I need to. Similar climate, not as busy as of a city, but very similar and close enough that you can still get to Hollywood. You can still get to downtown LA. Like, it's a drive, but you can still do it. Like, it's not impossible. It helps to at least stay the night on one end or the other, but um you could do it. I've gone to concerts with friends when I lived in San Diego and gone all the way from San Diego to LA and back to San Diego the same night, and it's been fine. I mean, it's tiring, but luckily I've never had to drive either, so um yeah, I've done that twice and it's been fun. Um and yeah, I've enjoyed just, you know, I've enjoyed being there, but I know a lot of people have moved. I've had friends move out of the country, out of the state. I feel like if I had to be in LA, at least I'm still close to San Diego. Kind of the same way I feel about San Diego, at least I'm close to LA. Like, I don't want to be too far from either city. Um, I notice I do actually kind of do more in LA. There's more to do. Even if I want to go out and do some solo stuff and just like get out and about, there's some pretty cool stuff around town to do that's free or like cultural, artistic, that kind of stuff. I enjoy that, and I was almost thinking tomorrow, Saturday. I was like, man, I want to go maybe do a little hiking or walking around in some parks or something, but I don't know, like, or the beach. I just feel like the beach is gonna be a zoo on Saturday. The weather's warm. Everybody's gonna be at the beach. If I want to go to the beach, I need to go on a weekday, I think. So maybe I'll go to the beach Friday. After work, of course, but there's still enough sunlight. Um, but yeah, getting outside a little bit more. I feel like I was like, the thing about studying is like you're indoors more. So the stuff I've been studying has been nice, but I'm like, man, I needed to get out. So I kind of got out to do some podcasting, just to kind of talk about my experience lately, my energy lately. Um, like, I think I figured it out. I think it's fine. I think today is something that I can sleep off. It's not, you know, I was trying not to get distracted from, just like thinking about it and like reflecting on it. And I mean, I don't want to spend all night like brooding about it or anything. Like, I'm not like upset. I just think maybe I got more stressed during work than I thought I did. And it came out like with my energy. Like, I wasn't like, it just like sucked the energy out of me. Like, I wasn't like anxious, like freaking out, like worried, but I was kind of like just drained. Like, that's kind of how it felt. It was like, that's how my energy kind of expressed itself, was just draining itself from me. It's like, you've got nothing left. But yeah, I was just kind of, I had a little bit to get like, I didn't have to take work off. It wasn't like that bad, but I was just like, man, like, what is up? Because it's drastically different from what I experienced yesterday. Um, And I don't know, like I do honestly feel like I got the basics down yesterday. I slept well. I did eat a pretty light dinner, and I did eat a pretty light dinner. So maybe that too, eating a light dinner and then a light breakfast, like maybe I really just didn't have the energy in me, and then I had a kind of unhealthy lunch, and it just kind of crashed me too. So it was probably that as part of the combo. The ramen with kimchi. I mean, I don't know. I was like, I want something warm and hearty and um, high calories, and that was high calories. Um, and so yeah, I didn't really have a heavy dinner either. Um, so maybe I should have had more breakfast, but I don't really know. Like, it's something to think about. Usually, I don't like think about it. I'm usually like, I would have usually probably never tried to take time right away to kind of think through, kind of like, okay, what happened? What made today different than the others? What's different? Um, but yeah, for that reason, I'd say it's not a bad day. But it felt like parts of today were kind of like, ooh, like this wasn't how I wanted to feel for this part of today. But that was a little frustrating. But I do think I've kind of come out of it mostly. Like I do feel better now. But I was like, man, I don't want to like be off work and then just kind of like not feeling too like peppy or anything and just being like, eh. So it was nice to kind of get out. I probably needed the fresh air. I've definitely been in the house a lot this week since I got back Sunday. That can be something that's easy for me to overlook. Because, I haven't been out of the house in like 3 days. Like, I've come outside, but, like outside, I'll get the mail. I'll come outside and like eat some berries or drink a bottle of water. Like, I'll come outside like maybe every hour, every other hour. I take a lot of breaks. Like, when I'm taking like little stretching breaks, I'll come outside in the sun. But I'm not like in the sun, like just laying there for like hours every day. Like I'm in the house a lot more, so I do need to pay attention to getting out more. Because it is a little, it's not, I shouldn't say it's complicated with the weather, because the weather's not bad. I'm sitting in the car right now with the windows rolled up, and I've had the windows rolled up for a pretty long time now, and I'm not like overheated. Like I feel like it's warm, but it's not. Usually, like when I'm recording in the summer, I'm like, it's miserable. Like it's nice. Um, and I've been out of the direct sun for a while too. I've been in the shade, so and now the sun's low, like lower than the house. So I'm in the driveway and the sun's blocked. So, but yeah, it's still light out. Like it's still sunny, but yeah, it just hasn't. I don't know. In the evenings, luckily, it's been cooling off a lot. But the sun has been out pretty early in the morning. I can't tell if it's like throwing me off a little bit because it's really sunny in the mornings. It's sunny early. It's the past couple days. It's been sunny pretty early. Not even that like June gloom morning kind of thing that we get over here. It was like sunny. Like as the sun came up, it was actually like out. We didn't have to wait till like noon. There wasn't like a marine layer, nothing. Like it was pretty solid sun. And that I don't know if that's very common. I really don't know if that's very common over here when I think of it because I'm like I'm not used to to waking up with it being this bright. Like I'm sure there were years where that happened, but this is a little I don't know. It might not even be a big deal cuz last year was the first like not this past winter, but the one before that was like the trauma winter where like we had so much going on with the bad weather. I was like, when is this gonna end? Like, this is not. I didn't like it. I was like, I hadn't seen the sun in like weeks, and that's not normal out here either. Like, even in June and May, I don't think I'd gone as long as we went that winter without like the whole summer not seeing the sun that much, and then the winter too. It was just that June gloom lasted like so long up until like summer finally felt like summer, you know, like it. I don't remember if it lasted into July, but I really don't remember seeing the sun that much between like probably like November and like we usually get a little sun in April, but I think the sun didn't really start coming out too much till like sometime in June or July. And that's long for us cuz usually we get sun. It might not be every day or all day, but I feel like lately it's been all day. It's like I'm waking up early, of course, because I wake up early, but then like the sun actually is like coming out. Like it's not like, oh, it's brighter, but it's cloudy and foggy. Like every morning, usually it's cloudy and foggy. So it's really interesting that it hasn't been. And I know it's happened before. Like I remember waking up early mornings when it's sunny. Like it's happened before, but I don't know. And I don't think I'm like, oh, I'm in a good mood so it's sunny. Like that's not really what it is. Like usually it really is pretty cloudy over here. The beaches in LA are pretty cloudy in the morning. Like that's just kind of how it is, and we're not that far from there. So, yeah, it's been interesting. And I'm feeling different when I go to bed at night. Like last night, I started actually feeling tired around like 9:45. I'm feeling better in the mornings a little bit. Like I said, I slept pretty solidly. I think the night before I would have slept really good, but I did drink like 2 water bottles before I went to sleep, which I knew it was gonna make me wake up a lot. So that was my own fault. But my energy yesterday was pretty good too, and then today it was good to a point. But I think I have gotten a lot of my energy back. For the evening. I just don't know what I'm going to really get into tonight. I just wanted to record on here a little bit. I probably need to work out. I feel like I need to. It's kind of bad when it becomes like a feeling when you're like, I need to feel, I don't know. You know when you've worked out and you kind of feel like you've moved your muscles more. I need to like move more. I need more movement. I can feel that I need to move more. Like my body's pretty much like I'm in tune with it enough to know that at the least. I'm just trying to kind of like pay attention to it and not just be like, like it's okay. It's like no, I should exercise. I've got the time. Like what else am I doing tonight? I'm not doing anything. I'm posting this and that's all I'm really doing. I'm not really going anywhere. So, I mean, I already went where I was gonna go, which was outside. So, yeah, I gotta do something because my back is not enjoying itself today. All right. I think that's about all. This is kind of all over the place, but you guys know how it is. This is a version of my after work recording instead of recording in the morning before work. This is my mind after work. But I kind of like the direction things are going in. It's just, it's a lot to try to pay attention to. Where I'm spending my energy. I don't know if I've really paid attention to that too much. Like I've usually had like a routine, but I don't know if I've really challenged it too much. I've done a lot of complaining about how I feel or what's going on with my energy. I don't know if I've been ready to or done too much, but it kind of took some building to get to this point too. And I'm not perfect with things, and I'm not trying to be perfect with things, but I'm definitely noticing some improvements. Not just with the internet thing, but just like doing the basics, taking more vitamins, trying to sleep better, getting more vitamins, eating more vegetables. Like I ate instant ramen. Like I'm not perfectly eating, the healthiest of foods, but I'm adding more fruits and vegetables. I mean, and trying to avoid the snacks more often. Like, I don't know what else more to really do. I'm like, I'm trying to eat whole foods, you know, not a lot of processed stuff, you know, a lot of fruits and things like that. Trying to stay away from the junk food, or if I am eating stuff that's not necessarily the healthiest, trying to maybe even out the calories by not eating a whole lot of extra stuff on top of that. Like, being at least aware of, like, okay, 460 calories is a lot for like an instant ramen, you know. That's how much I ate for lunch, you know, like that's a lot, but then maybe I'm lower on calories from dinner and breakfast. And so, you know, I don't even know if I even ate dinner tonight. I ate a little bit of this like katsu chicken with some cabbage, but I might actually eat a little bit more. Like fruits or vegetables. Probably not vegetables. That does not sound good. I don't want to go crazy on the fruit though, but we did the family purchased fruit and then I purchased fruit. And so we have a lot of fruit. And I'm the only one who likes fruit enough to actually like eat it. So I've kind of been having these weird dinners sometimes, like these like little snack dinners, not like one solid just like sit down and eat a meal. But I don't know, like I think I don't know, it's interesting to kind of have like a different day, like shift my day a little bit. Have one night where I have not like necessarily unhealthy snacks, but kind of like a lighter dinner. But I'll have to pay attention to what I eat in the mornings. I can't just completely not eat a lot, but yeah, maybe a little snack, a little exercise, and it should be pretty good to go. That'll pretty much be the end of my night, and I don't know what I'm studying tonight. I haven't decided if I'm studying or what I'm studying. I'm kind of liking just like thinking. That's kind of nice, even though that might sound weird, but I'm kind of just liking being in my mind about things and not necessarily reading anything or listening to anything. But I don't know. I'm not trying to go like super hardcore. Like obviously I'm gonna post this and I'll be online. Like I'm not staying off the internet. I'm not trying to stay off. I'm just trying to kind of decrease pretty much. Or decrease what I'm doing or increase other things that I want to be doing. You know, it might be a little more random, but I think that's fine. But alright guys, I'm gonna go finish out my night.